I am extremely honored to share our next panelist, Mr. Bijender Vats. To introduce him, I think he needs no introduction, but Mr. Bijender is the Director HR at MSD India, which is one of the largest US pharmaceutical. In his career snapping over 2 decades across reputed organizations like Novartis and Dr. Reddy's Lab, he worked on both sides, that is business as well as HR. He has been associated with some of the prestigious B schools, from being an academic board member to a mentor, and has been a speaker at various forums. Mr. Watts, you have an incredible experience in pharmaceutical industry. Can you please share some insights on when can we expect the solution to this crisis, which will end the suffering of the humanity? Also, if you can share your insights on the opportunities, challenges, and future of pharmaceutical industry. Over to you.
Thank you, Sakshi, and hi everyone. Very honored to be a part of this esteemed panel with Suresh on the same. Let me very quickly summarize, where we are today. We all have little information about, how the pandemic started from Wuhan and all that stuff and everything. But if I have to tell you in a very crisp manner, where we stand today, close to 1.3 crore people have been globally infected by COVID-19 till now. If you look at some of the ratios, the fatality ratio which is there because of COVID, globally, it is close to 6%. So 6% of people have not survived the infection. Initially, what started from China moved to Europe. Europe, it caused a major damage because with the kind of death rates that we observed in UK, Italy, Spain, France was tremendous. But now the infection is actually moved to Latin America, Brazil in particular, which has second highest infections globally after US. And people were saying that in US it's more or less over. But if you look at last 3 days data, 55,000, 58,000, and for last 24 hours, the US has reported 65,000 new cases of COVID-19. So the pandemic is, far from over. That's one reality that we all are facing. Moving on to, where are we as a country in terms of, the COVID-19? More than, close to 8 lakh cases is what we have. The good thing, if I talk about India vis-a-vis, the global data, is that our fatality ratio is about 3.2%. Not because we have exceptional, healthcare facilities as compared to US or UK, but primarily because the average age in India is about 27 as compared to 45 plus in most of the European countries and US. So that's where we stand. Sakshi, you gave me a very difficult task of answering that when is the solution coming. I wish I knew it. But there are 4 things that we all need to look at, when we talk of a solution for COVID-19. The first solution I think that we all are looking at is vaccine. About 15 candidates globally right now being tested for COVID-19. At least a couple of them looking very promising. One research from AstraZeneca, which is happening in Oxford University, very promising. One from Moderna in US, again, very promising. But again, they're promising researchers, right? But what people need to understand is a research of vaccine is not same as research of a medication for anything else, because research of vaccine is far more complex. And after phase 3, probably you will realize will it work or will it not work. That is where vaccine stands. In terms of treatment, I think anything and everything under the sun is being tried as treatment. Remdesivir has not sold in this market for 10 years. It was one product which did not work in anything. In COVID-19, it has shown impact. Immunoglobulins are being used as well. So all treatments are being used. That's the second part. But again, it will take time. The third possible treatment that today we see is probably the plasma therapy, because somebody has antibodies, had an infection. If you ask me, for me, that is still the number one candidate, because if you inject somebody's body with antibodies, there is every likelihood that that individual will recover, and because that information is in public domain, what happened to the health minister of Delhi, Satyendra Jain, almost in a hopeless situation, they changed the hospital and gave him plasma therapy, and he's recovered much better, right? So that's the third thing. And fourth is uh, some of us might have read that book, hope is not a strategy. So fourth is that. Fourth is, over a period of time, a lot of time, this vaccine stains, they become weak on their own. So I'm counting that as well. So I spoke about vaccine, I spoke about treatment, I spoke about plasma therapy, which to me is still the best option. And the fourth one is the stain becoming weak on its own. So this is where we stand in terms of treatment. But yeah, next 6 8 months, I don't see anything coming actually. If you ask me, people are saying 15th August we will inaugurate, red tape will be cut, by year end something will come. Nothing will come before March April of next year. And trust me, at this stage it's very difficult to say what will work. In terms of, very quickly moving to the second part of the question that you had asked me, in terms of challenges for the healthcare industry in particular, having spent 23 years, see, our industry is still a touch industry. Culturally, in a country like India, we all have believed, if I see the client, if I see the doctor face to face, he will write. If I meet a distributor face to face, he will buy. Right? That is going to be the biggest change, the change of mind shift, my mindset, which has to be there. That's going to be the biggest challenge for the pharmaceutical industry. What are the opportunities? For the first time, I have also started believing that digital is an opportunity, because till now, at least in pharmaceutical space, in healthcare space, two people did not believe that digital will work. One was the doctor, to whom we were presenting it. Second was the person who was selling it. Our selling people also used to say, "Oh God, okay, company told try this, we will try this." Right? Today, everybody is going to believe that digital is going to work, because that reality of 8 calls, 10 calls, 7 calls is not going to happen. Doctor doesn't want to meet too many people, so he's also okay with digital, right? So digital is going to be the way forward. But one big opportunity, which is definitely going to be there going forward, is that you will see, people keep asking us on various forums, what will be the talent landscape, how will it change? If you ask me, the number of jobs in pharma beyond a point will not suffer, because fortunately we are a part of an industry where, this year it is corona, God forbid next year there may be something else. So it continues to grow. The industry still continues to grow. If I look at last 4 year data, CAGR has grown by 9%, which is better than most of the industries, right? But one change which pharma will see going forward is the fight for talent, because companies will have cost pressures. Suresh was bang on. We'll have cost pressures. We'll have to be profitable. We'll have to be viable. And in that situation, what will happen? You may marginally cut your headcount, but your productivity has to be absolutely bang on. Everybody has to achieve the PCPM, the targets, and all those things. So there is going to be a war for talent in pharma industry for sure, because every company would want the best doctor, best rep. What will also happen at a doctor level is also going to change. In pharma, we have been always saying, there are 3,000 plus companies. Companies are not using the best of, means to sell and all and everything. I somewhere feel that even this group is going to come down. It's not going to be, 2 years from now, you will not see 3 4,000 pharma companies. My guess, you may see maybe 15 1600 pharma companies, because companies which have been operating at very small margins, right, are going to struggle going forward. Also, third thing that we need to remember, I spoke about sales rep, I spoke about doctor. The third thing, the most important one, the patient is not going to take a chance. The patient is not going to go to a general practitioner. The patient will go to the best doctor, the best hospital, so that he gets the best treatment. So these are some of the things that I wanted to speak about: the challenges, the opportunities, and how the industry will shape. Two things that organizations need to do. First and foremost, what Sudesh spoke about, authentic communication. Be very transparent, be very straightforward to your employees. I personally feel that going forward, organizations will have to focus more on mental wellness and more on work-life balance. If you're able to give work-life balance to your people will stick with you. it, Today, some of you may find it difficult to believe that, if the increments are not there, employee may still stick. But trust me, if work-life balance is not there, people will leave. Because today the challenges are very different. When you see people, sitting on the laptop morning to evening, it's impossible, because it is not impacting the employee, it is impacting the family today. So I think, to me, if I have to give one task to the organization, be very mindful of, the work-life balance of your people. So these are some of the points that I wanted to cover, Sakshi. Yeah, back to you.
Thanks, Mr. Vats. I think very, very practical insights which you've given, and people are speculating around COVID vaccine being available in August, but you very rightly said that we all need to keep patience. As I used to coin this term, ice in the belly is important, even for the management as well as for the employees. So we should have ice in the belly. Digitalization is the age. Thanks a lot for sharing the practical insights.